Yo, Philly, what is going on? We are back, episode 4, volume 4 of Drunk on Ice. We're very excited to have a couple special guests tonight, but I'm here with my co-host, Jason. We're here to just talk all things Flyers, all things hockey. Jay, what's going on?
What is up, brother? I am so excited about this show. It's like doing a show bi-weekly. We were talking about this offline. It's just so much fun because there's so much to talk about, and there's just the anticipation of waiting. Like, I wanted to do this show Monday, so
Right?
it's just it's just really been a blast working with you, and I love what we're doing. And as you mentioned, we have some special guests. I'm extremely honored to have these guys on our show. Part of kind of being in this podcast realm, we build a lot of relationships and a lot of friendships. And these two guys are two guys that I've really become very close with. And I call them my friends. And I'm really excited to have them on. First and foremost, we have Jesse Bell. He's the CEO and founding father of the Old City Sports Network. He's also the host of the podcast, Flyers Alley. And then we have also with us, as Frankie James is under the weather, he wasn't able to make it, but we were able to have his alter ego, Tankin 41. So let's bring him out. Frank the Tank.
Frank the Tank is here. Gentlemen, how are we?
What is going on, gentlemen? It's very nice to have you. It's we're glad to be able to share our enthusiasm for hockey, and good to have you guys on. Love what you guys are doing, on your Old City Sports Network, and we're kind of spreading the hockey family cheer here.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, absolutely.
Guys are very lucky to have me on here. That's for sure. Thanks for having me on, guys. Seriously, can't wait.
I told you it was the alter ego.
we feel very privileged. Listen, before we get into it, we gotta plug our sponsor here. We got the La Terrain luxury watches and now accessories. They now have some pretty cool sunglasses. They got some really cool stuff. If you're looking for things for the holidays, go check them out. We're going to be looking at using the DOB code at checkout, and you'll get some fine luxury accessories and wristwears, and you'll help out a hockey podcast. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Absolutely.
That being said, gentlemen, what are your thoughts right now as this season starts to get underway? We got we're in that first quarter of the season. Where are your thoughts?
Frank, you can go first.
Absolutely. Frank the Tank, by the way. There's a couple things that I didn't expect. Excuse me. Sorry about that. A couple of things I expected, didn't expect, and some surprises. So I'll kick it off with this. The biggest surprise to me, ironically, is how strong Claude Giroux has played early on in the season. Typically, it takes him a little bit to even get that first goal. Incredibly, coming off a game like last night where he put in 2 cupcakes in the net. He's having an unbelievable start to the season. I don't know how there are any doubters out there, to be honest with you, besides a few. But incredible season. He's paired with the right people finally. And that's one of the things. You had to get the pieces in the right spots, and they finally do. I was a little hesitant on having TK on that first line, but let me tell you, damn, he has really proved me wrong. He's another one that I'm really surprised about, was how strong he's played. Because you look at last year, tough year. The playoffs before that, tough playoff round. Just not good. Not good at all. I wanted him to be packaged out. Wanted him to rock and roll. Package him out and get another score in here. He showed up this year, and he's played incredible. So those are some of the big surprises to me that I definitely have noticed.
Jess, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I kind of think the big thing for me right now, the new additions. I mean, defense and offense. Yeah, there's been a couple things that have been missing from the Flyers organization for a long time, and I think it has to do with physicality and the shoot first mentality. With you got Cam Atkinson with the shoot first mentality now, and you got the physical presence of Ristolainen. And as much as everybody hates to say it, I'm a big Nick Seeler advocate. I feel like Nick Seeler is getting his. I say it a couple times. Frankie's shared my opinion on a couple different platforms. I think Nick Seeler is getting his development in the NHL instead of the AHL. The Martin Jones thing's big. I mean, a lot of things that people were concerned about in the offseason, making the moves, were are actually starting to solidify. So I think all the moves in general are a big spotlight for me.
I mean, I know that's one thing that we had talked about on a couple of the shows, especially the one leading into the season, where you talk about a lot of the offseason moves that they made. They were all made with one intention in mind, right? To help Carter Hart not have to stand on his head for 60 minutes every night. And I think you're seeing what you're saying, Jess, the direct result of that. You're able to see him be able to the way that he moves in the net side to side, some of the saves that he's made early on in the season, I think are a direct correlation back to the solidifying that back end right on the blue line, making sure that, and I love a lot of the guys that they added were guys that wore letters, right? Those guys that wore letters on other teams, that leadership comes into play, especially with some of the young talent that they have now and that they're going to have coming through in a couple, in the next couple months, couple years. I think that's only going to pay dividends then, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go a little bit of different route here. So, pluses, obviously Carter Hart. If it weren't for Carter Hart, this team would be in last place, probably in the league. Their goals, the way that they're playing defense has been a total 360 as far as, change from last year. They had one of the worst defensive teams and goaltending, and this year they're ranked in the top 10. More importantly, save percentage, which to me is probably the most important metric when you look at goaltending. Carter Hart has a .932 save percentage. That's 7th in the league.
That's big.
So they are playing.
Huge.
That's huge.
They are playing total defensive hockey. They've all bought into this system, and I love it. Where I am concerned is that, and Frankie mentioned, and this is not a knock on Claude Giroux. No, it's not a knock. But Claude Giroux is the leading point getter on the Flyers with 14 points. You know where that ranks in the NHL? He's the 50th players in the NHL that have more points than Claude Giroux, and he's your leading scorer. That, my friends, is part of the Flyers' problem right now and why I'm a little concerned. Our scoring, we do not have an elite goal scorer. And, we could sit here and say, it's early, which it is. But when you look at this, you look at the team from top to bottom, Ryan Ellis is actually in the top 10 in points on the team, and he's only played in 4 games. So that's where I'm at with this team. I'm a little I hate to use the word cautiously optimistic. I'm optimistic in that the Flyers are better. They are playing better sound hockey as far as defensively. But if you look at their offensive team, it's almost went by the wayside after the first few games where they shelled out. I believe they put 25 point goals in the first 6 games. Since then, they've averaged less than 2 goals a game. So that's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we knew that that sniper goal scorer was something that they were lacking, right? But I think where I would come back and say, hey, listen, like that, but they are winning game. There's a bunch of games where they might only score 2 goals, but they're winning, right? So that yes, you would like that goal scoring to be higher. You want them to be, you want them to have, multiple guys with double digit points. But I think at the end of the day, if Carter Hart plays the way that he has, I think you're giving yourself an opportunity to win anytime he plays.
Yeah, I mean, fair point.
Yeah.
I guess my concern is that what happens when Carter Hart starts to, have a couple bad games or, starts to struggle. It's going to happen. I mean, let's face it. Nobody's perfect. You're going to have your bad games. I'm just at the point with the team where I'm looking at where they're at in the division because they are in the toughest division in the NHL. So can they compete? Yes. Are they ready to go to the next level? I don't think so. I mean, I don't know where you guys stand.
I kind of think they are. I mean, they've I think they've manipulated their game. They're turning into like actually, I think the top rated third and actually strongest third period team in the league. You can't deny that their third period in the past couple games. I mean, against Carolina and the other one. I mean, we lost the other night against the Bolts, but I mean,
last night
it was the Bolts, and it was Lightning, and that was the Canes are on a tirade right now, and I think the biggest issue with, and I'm not saying you're wrong by any means. I just think that a lot of people's vision with what they want the Flyers to be and what the Flyers have to offer them are two totally different things. Like you also have, I'm a big advocate of Zach McEwen.
Okay.
He's fast as hell. He is scoring. He's not scoring
a torpedo,
but I think you're getting goals from people that you just don't expect to get goals from this year. So I mean,
Great.
Yeah, I can pass that on.
I mean, I think we're kind of all in agreement that like what they have in the core of their team, while there may not be the elite upper echelon group of players, you've got more of like a really good collection of the middle to upper echelon players.
It's like Herb Brooks said, not the best players, the right players.
Right players.
Right. Frank, in your mind, who's the guy that they've brought in the offseason that has made the most impact so far?
Cam Atkinson. There's no other. I mean, anybody could have said that. It's definitely Cam Atkinson. Okay, great point taken. But that just shows that the moves that they made were absolutely phenomenal moves. I'll be honest with you right off the bat. There wasn't a move that I was really disappointed in. There was not really one move, to be honest with you. The only one that people really questioned that I've been saying was the Risto move. And that was only because of the fact that they don't control any rights to him after the season. So bringing him in, and what they dished out, you can't be mad about it. And his game is escalating. He's just getting better and better and better. But Cam Atkinson, and I'll talk about more or less about the trade, because it's not just the player, it's the whole trade. You were able to dish out Jake Voracek, who was getting paid way too much money and on a decline. They put Jake Voracek in a position where they wanted him to score 30 goals a year, and he never scored more than 22 in a season. On the power play, you had Claude Giroux, Jake Voracek just passing the puck back together. They are playmakers. Look at Jake Voracek's numbers. Right now, I think he has 2 goals and 13 assists. He was on a 7-point streak. Up because he is a playmaker. He can dish the puck. Sure, he's got hard skating and he can fire a little bit, but he's not that solidified goal scorer that they put him in position to be. That's why it didn't work. Now, go back to the Cam Atkinson. The trade also let go $9.8 million. They took the whole contract. We got a goal scorer, we got a way better defensive player, and we got someone on the penalty kill. That trade is outrageous. It was incredible.
Yeah, you're right. And Jay, Jay, you had mentioned, where are you in terms of what you're looking for in terms of where they're going to move in like that second quarter of the season? Where do they focus?
I mean, I definitely think I'd like them to definitely improve the power play and the penalty kill.
We got a hijacker. Literally, Phil, what the hell are you doing hijacking with a Asante Samuel jersey? Oh, my God. We all know who that is. That's Talking 205 who has that jersey, by the way. Keep that crap over there.
He's saying it because I won.
Oh, you won? Did you win the jersey?
J1.
I did.
J1. Yeah.
He's giving me a shout.
Congrats, Jay.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought he was I thought he was like trying to like this hijack,
No.
but still,
No.
come on, Phil. I'm supposed to go with him soon too.
So Jay, you were saying?
No, what I was saying is they definitely need to improve on their special teams. I mean, the penalty kill is a little bit better than it was last year, but at 82%, I believe it's 14th in the league. It's kind of middle of the pack. Power play is absolutely horrendous.
It's been bad.
And that to me is the difference sometimes in winning and losing, because if you could get a couple power play goals, in these games, it makes a world of a difference. So if I'm looking at what I think they need to fix, obviously they need to start putting pucks in the net.
Yeah.
Soon.
Yeah, I think, and Jay, to speak to that, one of the things that was alarming to me, and I think it was one of the, it may have been the Calgary game, where they had multiple times where they were on the power play and they gave up shorthanded opportunities. Like there was one, I think, where they gave up multiple shorthanded opportunities in one power play. And that to me is something that was really alarming to think like, all right, they got to get that fixed and fast. Otherwise, it's going to come when they start playing the likes of, the Tampas, the Washingtons, the Panthers, the teams in the upper echelon of the East. Those are teams when you make those kind of mistakes that are going to come back and bite them.
Yeah, I mean, I love Keith Yandel. Honestly, I think. Huh? No, I'm not ripping him. I think that he's a weapon on the power play. I don't know quite what's going on though. Why, right now he's a minus player. I'm a little confused because I thought like when coming in, I was excited about him, bringing that aspect to Jesse. I know you followed him a lot, throughout his career. What are your thoughts? Like, why do you think he's, not really performing to what we expected?
I think a lot of people think that he was going to come in and do something that he doesn't really do. I do think player placement is a big issue with this team right now. I was kind of on the fence about it, but I do kind of understand what AV is doing. If everybody can play, it's kind of hard to explain. If he's switching up the lines and everybody can play with each other and it doesn't matter what line you're switching up, then obviously if someone's out, it doesn't make a difference. I think that's kind of what's going on. I don't think that AV is utilizing Yandel to his strengths. I know he's a huge veteran guy, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to answer that because I don't know. I love Yandel to death. He's my favorite player that wasn't a Flyer. Now he's on the Flyers, and he's not my favorite player.
If you don't,
I was just talking. Don't worry about it. Just hijack me like you do every other time. I will light you up on someone else's show. Okay. All right, go ahead, Frank. I'm done.
All right.
Moving on. I had to jump right in with it because I think I know why. And it comes to this. You see what this team what's happened with this team when injuries have happened. All right, you start losing some chemistry. Players are coming in. We're not too sure what to do. It hurts the team. With Ryan Ellis out, I think that has impacted Ivan Provorov's game. And Jesse, we've talked about before, especially he has. Ivan Provorov has more or less been exposed with when he doesn't have the player that he needs to play with them. Now, the thing about Yandel, and I think one of the biggest things about Yandel, he doesn't get hurt often. When he's playing, he's going to keep playing because he's not out of the lineup. So it's one less thing you typically have to worry about. Now, injuries come, but he hasn't shown any sign of that, even at his age. Now, I think that's one of the biggest reasons. And they got him for a couple of shekels, okay? Like $850,000. Hey, we can take that out of our pockets and be like, here you go. For what it's worth, the cost of the contract, the fact that he doesn't get hurt too often, and he's a strong player is one of the biggest reasons why I think he's here. And I love the fact that he's here. Plus, he's just from Delco's best friend. I mean,
Oh no,
Jess,
don't get me wrong. Honestly, I agree with Jesse. I think he's being misused. That's where I'm going with this. I don't think he's being used to his strengths. So, similar to we've seen another team in this town that kind of struggles with that when it comes to putting players in their best spots, and I just don't understand it because I'm not all about the points. I get it. I don't need Yandle to have 100 points. He's not that guy. But Yandle to me is a weapon that can be used, especially on the power play, and I don't see him being used enough. That's where I'm at. I mean, maybe I'm wrong and I'm not watching the same game, but
Jess, I'm gonna put you behind the bench. How do you what's the way that you use Yandle to get the best out of him?
I mean, he's the Iron Man, so I mean, he's got to be. He's got to be on the power play. I mean, he's got to be leading the power play. He's the power play leader. I mean, he should be. And honestly, I was never sold on the Ryan Ellis thing. He's very accident prone, and that's showing right now. And he's an absolute waste of money, and I'm not afraid to say it. That's another good point right there. Justin Braun is the guy. He's also the guy too. Justin Braun has made it a total 180 from last year to this year. But Yandle he should be the guy. I don't know. I don't know exactly why AV's not doing what he's doing, but I have him leading the power play.
Okay.
I think everybody's just too oversold on these players. Like, there's a couple players on the team right now that I just don't. I see them being the absolute issue, and all of them are on defense. Every single one of them are on defense. So
interesting.
If I'm behind the bench. To be honest with you, Sanheim, and I'm gonna take it because I don't even talk to the guy anymore. Sanheim is in Lehigh, and Sealer is up with us. Ryan Ellis is on IR until if we make the playoffs, and then he comes out. I say we keep him healthy until he's absolutely healthy. I have Yandle leading the power play. The first line, I mean, you have to have Atkinson on the first line with Giroux. I mean, the things that make sense, the easiest answers are usually the right ones. I mean, I don't know why AV's mixing it up again.
Right. It's the things that don't require a whole lot of thought. Like, does it make sense? Yes, do it. Like, don't think twice about it. Like, if you know that pairing those guys is going to give you, I think just to go back to something you had mentioned earlier about the change in that shoot first mentality has been the biggest thing that I've noticed. Because if I had to watch Voracek pass the puck that just became like nauseating, like almost like Ben Simmons nauseating.
I think he had the comment that I think he tweeted it out saying, I'm the one shooting the puck. I think he actually said it on Nasty Knuckles podcast as well. I'm the one that has the puck. I'm the one on the ice. I can see. I don't believe that. I was also never a big Voracek fan. I have a bobblehead that I got for $1 at a yard sale. So I mean, certain players Philadelphia is infamous for pumping the tires up on players and making them something that they're not. And I just absolutely think he's one of them. Like I said, there's a couple still on the team. But.
Anything else, fellas, you want to talk about before we kind of go around the league and talk about things that are going on in the NHL? Anything with the Flyers you want to talk about?
Yeah, I feel like I haven't said a word. Wow, this is easy.
Go ahead, Frank.
Well, show there for a minute.
I'm literally just not even going to interrupt or talk unless somebody asks me. It's like I feel like I'm back in school again. Yeah, I have some things I definitely want.
That's why I love this show.
Moving on. So I got a couple things I want to say. I don't know what you just said. A couple things I definitely want to say. What's up, guys? Great show. Hey, how are you?
Adam's awesome.
So, damn it, Jesse. I forget what I was going to say.
Moving on.
No worries. Listen,
Frank, thank you.
Listen, if the tank is empty right now, hey, listen, if it fills back up, just pop back, pop back on. So if you're looking, like I looked at putting together like some power rankings of what is going on in the NHL. Who's the team at the top? Who's the team that's most impressed you this year around the league?
Yeah, okay.
Who's first? No, I'll wait.
Anybody? Go ahead.
I'm gonna do the call on. I'll start this one off the top. Thank you, Jesse. Number one team or most surprising. I'll do most surprising team. I'll tell you right now, my most surprising team, and it's close with 1-1A. I'll go Panthers. I'll go Panthers. That they're the most surprising team. I would have liked Carolina Hurricanes, but their coaching is just incredible. Incredible coaching. Florida Panthers, obviously, they dealt with a little bit of the issue with losing their coach. I'm not even going to speak his name because it's not worth it to me. He's a piece of trash, if you ask me. Now, anyway, that team has been really surprising because they have decent players, but they play so well together. That's what it is. Like Jesse had quoted Herb Brooks earlier. They got the right players that play extremely well. And that was one of the things I thought about the Vegas Golden Knights when they first came into the league. They had the players, they had the right players that knew how to play together. And that's what I've really seen out of Florida. I mean, they're an incredible team. Minus, the coaching issue that they had. They're still winning. They are still winning games. So that's my team, probably most surprising. My solidified number one team that I think in the league, it's hard not to go Tampa Bay because they have it all the way around. So I would probably still go maybe Tampa Bay, probably still that number one team. I actually probably still have them to make a cup run for sure, go to the cup.
I mean, Florida's 9-0 at home, right?
It's incredible.
They've got 6 or 7 guys already with double-digit points. Like they've got a really, and you've got Bobrovsky in net. Like you got talk about one that got away. Right?
One that got away, Jesus! How many times I said that? For girls. For girls.
No, but I would agree with you with Carolina too. Like they're 3, like they've won 3 in a row. They've only got 2 losses on the season. Like they're playing really well, and I love, like Frank, you said, the coaching. I love what Brendan Moore is doing. I love the enthusiasm and the mentality that he brings. Kind of brings what he was known for here to that team.
Incredible coaching. God, I wish we had him. He's still. I thought he could still get out there and play. I mean, he's still running. That way. Oh, it's incredible! I remember when they did like a little induction for him. I was at the game when they did it. I think it was a couple of years ago. I being 32, so I know he was like 90s prime. I remember him also when he won the Cup of Carolina, which was probably one of my favorite Stanley Cups. Was the Edmonton Carolina one.
Hey, there he is.
There he is. How you doing, Gummy? Wait, Hanai, Buffalo, Carolina. All right, that's good stuff. Also number one D man. Oh, there we go. Oh, the Wade. How about the Wade with the stats? But yeah, I mean, Rob Brendan there. I mean, when he was up, I mean, could you imagine a coach like that? I mean, he's made that team played really, really well. They're getting better and better.
Jess, what are your thoughts around the league?
I'm gonna go with Anaheim.
Okay.
Troy Terry is on a rampage. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. I was very unaware of this guy until obviously we have a couple fantasy leagues going on, and a lot of people are hurt right now. So I was fishing around for a little bit, heard his name on another podcast, and I mean, it's weird though because like it's saying in front of me, he was drafted round 5, 148th overall in 2015. This is the first year you're hearing anything about him really, but he is absolutely. I mean, he's got 12 goals. I mean, they also have Gibson over there. He's reigniting the flame of what he used to be. I mean, they're doing good. I gotta say Anaheim. They're really, especially for the last couple of years, they've been absolute trash. They've been down there with the bottom of the barrel like Buffalo and Detroit, and which actually both of those teams aren't doing absolutely horrible either. So I guess they'd be honorable mentions. But yeah, I would definitely say Anaheim.
Jay, what about you?
So are we doing like most surprising?
Just like who's the team that has impressed you the most, like around the league? If you're thinking about like power rankings, like who's at the top of the list for you?
I mean, obviously, Frank touched on the top two, in my opinion, are it's either going to be Florida or Carolina. I mean, Florida right now, obviously to me, a lot of people thought Sergei Bobrovsky was washed up, and he's obviously proving that he's not. So, I would say, in my opinion, the team that is really surprising me, because every year I think they're not going to be good, or I think they're getting older, it's Washington.
Nah.
That's 100% true.
Stop! Come on, no, I don't believe in that stuff.
I will put $1,000 on it right now that this happens mid-season.
You think so?
What that, Bob? What? Talk to me.
Let's Jason finish first.
Well, he's saying here the comment: if Bobrovsky got traded when he was a Flyer, he would have been a bust.
Yeah, I'll comment on that. I want you to finish your team.
I mean, I'm sorry if he never got traded and he was a Flyer instead of going.
I know what he's saying. Yeah, I'll comment.
To me, the team that's surprising me is Washington, because every year I'm thinking, they're getting older. And look at Ovechkin, 26 points.
He's killing it.
Freaking points. The guy is like ageless. So they're a team that surprised me. I would say a team I'm always thinking they're going to kind of, shit the bed, but they're actually playing really well is Toronto too. Nylander on a tear. I think they've won five in a row, 5 of the last 6. So they're
five. They've got 5 of the last 6. They got six players.
Right now, the East is extremely tough, and that's why I guess when I said earlier in the early segment why I was concerned, that's where I'm concerned, because it's going to be so tough for the Flyers unless they can start scoring.
The East is really top heavy, right? They've got a lot of quality. Where out in the West, it's more like trying to make chicken soup out of chicken shit.
Oh my
God! There's a lot of just stuff. I mean, for me, like the team that we like that is not surprising but impressive is Edmonton. Like, can we talk about McDavid for a hot minute?
Did you see that play last night?
The 2 plays where he literally just it almost reminded me of like someone that was skating and no one else was out there, because it really didn't matter where anybody was, their position, where like it just didn't matter. He just did whatever he wanted, but he makes it look so easy.
Dude, when I saw that play, he went end to end and then went through 3 defensemen, 3 players, and scored on a full-on rush. Like, he didn't slow down. Like, that to me is insane. The guy is he's on another level. It's like McDavid, rest of the league.
Yeah, and on that same, you got Draisaitl on that team. Those 2 are 1 and 2 in points. They're 7-1 at home. They're just really impressive to me. And they're a team that's at some point they're going to make their way. That cream is going to kind of rise to the top in terms of them being out west. Any other teams out west that you're thinking of?
I am going to comment right off.
Good.
I'd like to, Frank. Are you going to stay with the Oilers? Because I would like to poke that bear a little.
Sure.
Bit.
I'm going to stay with the Oilers for a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate you.
No
so I got to. So right off the bat, Edmonton, good solid team. They remind me of that Capitals team that would go 103, 5, 10 points and then bust in the playoffs. That's a lot of what we say, and Jesse knows we've talked about this before. Connor McDavid is the greatest offensive scorer in the league. He is not the greatest player in the league. He's offensive. But when you get him, first of all, Flyers beat him, so we already got 1 notch on him. When you get that, a boy, Gummy, there he is. So when we go into the playoffs, so they go into the playoffs, you obviously see the success rate. Connor McDavid has costly turnovers in the playoffs that have cost him games. You bump him around a little bit, give him the old, hey, how's your father doing with the old pip chuck against the boards? You know what I mean? Give him the old Mayersky. Let me tell you something, brother. You take the puck away from him, and you go around the net, and you score a goal. You just got to give him the old bump. Pre-hit the oven for 350. It's cupcake time. Bump him. You have to stay on him. You can't just let him skate around and dangle around like he's like a Chachi girl on New Year's Eve. You got to bump the guy. Start laying the body on him a little bit. Start throwing the hips like you're doing the salsa, and everything will be okay. They're not a playoff team yet. They got the players, but they just can't make it happen. Bump Connor McDavid, get him upset, get him sucking on the bottle and then back in the locker room, the warm milk and the little goat, and you'll knock him out of the playoffs.
That's the Frank the Tank.
Hot takes, and cupcakes.
Oh my God.
Well, thanks for letting me finally talk, guys. Jesus.
Oh, jeez.
Wow, if I knew it was gonna be like that the whole time, I would have shut up a while ago.
Well, you're making me upset now. I'm not trying to make the show about me.
Oh,
Yes, sir,
my
you-
God.
Are you well? Are you well?
Hit him with the mayor's key.
Jess, what do you got on the Oilers?
I mean, it's kind of hard to top that, I guess.
No, no.
Well, I mean, so how do you guys feel about Tuukka Rask? What's your honest opinion about Tuukka Rask?
Who goes first?
Oh, you just stay there. You just get on.
I mean,
Gotcha, Captain.
sir, like I feel like he's doing what they need to do, right?
I mean,
he's
his
doing
years,
what they
like
need him to.
His years, his whole career in a nutshell. Is it successful?
Yeah-ish.
Well,
Like
the answer's no, because he's the most tenured goalie in the franchise history to never win a cup. He's the winningest goalie in Boston history to never win a cup.
wow.
Connor McDavid is the same thing. You could be as good as you are. Hockey's not
Dan Marino.
a person. It's not a singular sport. It's a team sport. If you take Draisaitl away, who's he playing with? Nugent Hopkins, Darnell Nurse. Well, they sold Ethan Bear. He's in Florida now, so that was another guy he probably could have played with. I mean, what are they get? Cassian, is Cassie going to clear the way? I mean, I'm balding too, but I mean, it comes to a certain point here where you just can't do the thing anymore. You know, I like Connor McDavid. I just don't think. I also don't think Wayne Gretzky was the best player either. So I mean,
Ooh, all right.
It's different hours.
at least he has cups.
It's-
At least he has cups.
Oh, we can't change the topic yet because I want to comment with him as well. I do want to.
No, go ahead. So Mike jumped in. Mike's not tolerating the slander.
Well,
But
tell him to win a cup, and then I'll change my mind.
It's not slander. It's
Until he's done that, he's done absolutely nothing, right?
It's facts. It's facts. It's not slander. We were talking
That's
straight
false
facts with you
That's
right now.
false stats, bud.
Yeah,
I mean,
you do all the stats you want. If you have no cups, it doesn't mean anything.
It means absolutely nothing. You're just second place is the first loser.
You're absolutely right. It is just like with Ovechkin. Ovechkin needed to win that cup. He needed to win that cup, and he's got it. But I want to talk about Tuukka Rask real quick. You know what the first thing I think about him was? Abandonment. He abandoned his team when they were possibly could have won another cup during the COVID years. They played well, and right when they were getting ready to get the playoffs, he walked away.
I'm not gonna touch that.
In my opinion, and I don't know what I'm just saying. It's big with. I was really surprised about that. Now I mean, I'm not really. I don't. All right, I don't know the full details, but I was really surprised he did that. And I'll just say that I do not know the full details of what happened, and maybe I should have researched a little bit. But I was really surprised that he had walked away. Jesse's telling me. I'm done. I was really
all
surprised.
right, so let's talk about this for a second. Right. So by that same logic,
Yep.
where would you put Giroux's career? Right. Is it the same?
I'll go last.
It is,
Jay?
but Bobby Clark's career is not.
Yeah, I mean, he's the greatest fireball time.
Bobby Clark is
Right.
better than Connor McDavid. No,
Yeah, I agree.
by
I agree.
stats, he won a Stanley Cup. He won 2.
Back to back, baby.
Connor McDavid done? He's broke some records. Cool. You can break records all you want. But you didn't win the cup.
Well, always been
Yeah,
rich.
I think your comparison with Dan, like a Dan Marino type player, right? A guy who is going to be probably end up in the Hockey Hall of Fame. He'll end up with records upon records. I don't know how there. I mean, he's probably not going to touch a lot of the stuff that Gretzky, a lot of the statistical stuff that Gretzky put up. So he's going to have a lot of impressive numbers, but not lead that franchise in a whole lot of statistical categories.
Well, I mean, does Gretzky score all the goals that he scored without Dave Semenko and Martin McSorley?
Oh, that's awesome. Well said.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's a great point. Who do you have as one of the best hockey players, actually, Jesse? I don't think we ever talked about this. Like, who do you have as like your? Yeah, perfect. Yeah, he's up there. I have a couple like different like players that I think are really, really up there, but Bobby Orr is definitely up there. I was a big I love Barry Lemieux. Mark Messier. Those guys are up there for me.
Yeah.
Wow, I drew a blank. Joe Sakic. Joe Sakic is really, really up there for me too. Another one of those. Steve Yzerman. They're different players, but did different things. But people put Wayne Gretzky up there as number one. I love the Bobby Orr take. I really do, because it's a different era. Like, he had guys around him that were going to protect him. He couldn't do nothing, and certain people protect those big players. I mean, you see it even today. So that's a good take. When Wayne Gretzky, it's up there. It's questionable.
Jay, what about you?
Well, I see. A lot of me agrees with Jesse, because I agree. Like, until McDavid does do something in the playoffs, even make a cup, can you really say that the guy is the best player in the game? He's the best player in the game stat-wise, and yes,
offensively,
he is amazing on the ice. But I agree, like, there is a lot more than one player. I do think that Edmonton this year looks like they are improved, but once again, how's their goaltending going to be come playoff time?
Horrible.
Horrible. Jesse's talked about that plenty of times. Horrible.
So to me, I see. I mean, a lot. I totally understand where Jesse's coming from. I'm not going to disagree. But when I watch Connor McDavid, like, as far as like the player, like what he does on the ice is absolutely mind-boggling. Like,
Can't deny that at all.
Yeah, I can't deny that he's a great player.
But like I said, once again, that's why and that probably could be the counter argument to why I was saying I was concerned about the player. Jesse's right. Like, all it takes is a hot goaltender and good defense, and you can still win without, having an upper echelon scoring team. So it's all about the team around them. I do think, it's a great debate. That would make for like a great show debate. Who is the best player in hockey? And we'll get like a couple of our groups together.
Come on to the Frank the Tank show. That's what we do best over there, is debate. I love a good debate. I want to debate that guy about Giroux that just put his 2 cents in. I love to talk to him a little bit.
Well, it was a good point, though.
It's a good point. And if Alexander Ovechkin didn't win a cup, should he be in the Hockey Hall of Fame?
But Frank, can you admit that what that guy said, that Giroux is the same as Connor McDavid?
Yeah, and honestly, the reason why he said that was because he clearly doesn't like Claude Giroux. I mean, he wouldn't have. I mean, let's be honest here. He clearly has an issue with Claude Giroux. No, but that's okay. No, but it's a good point. I mean, it's a great point. It's different players that he had around them. Claude Giroux never had any help. Claude Giroux, nobody's butthurt. I'm just telling you. If we didn't draft JVR, we would have had the first overall pick and took Patrick Kane. We wouldn't be having this conversation.
No,
the guy never had help his entire career. Let's have the conversation, brother.
Pump the brakes.
I mean, by that logic, yeah, you're right.
Connor McNabb, in football. I mean,
who? What? McNabb? McNabb's the greatest quarterback in Eagles history. That's it. That's all he is. Stat-wise, he is.
Okay.
Stat-wise, he is.
I'm saying because Giroux never had any help. That's what I'm saying. I said a lot of people say the same thing about McNabb. Same thing.
I mean, he only had
Yeah.
1 year with a really good receiver, and clearly that got messed up. I mean, you had Brian Westbrook, and that was good defense. Jim Johnson was the defensive coordinator for the majority of years. And big moments, McNabb suffered, and it's unfortunate. But they always have really good. They were like the Edmonton Oilers and the Capitals for a while. They had great seasons. Get to the NFC Championship, and then that was it. But we're here to talk about hockey, all right? Enough
You know
of this
what I'd
crap.
like to see? I'd like to see Giroux carry this team this year to the playoffs and keep doing what he's doing because he's actually playing really good.
I don't think Giroux will have to though. I think there's enough leadership. There's so many guys that have filled the leadership role, like Nate Thompson and Brassard, and if you really wanted to, I mean, Ristolainen could probably do that next year. I mean, there's a lot of guys on this team that fill that veteran leadership role. So I mean, I don't think it should fall on Giroux's shoulders for once.
Well, and you know what? You bring up a good point, Jesse, because maybe that's why he's playing better this year. Maybe he doesn't have that stress on his shoulders. Like, oh my God, I'm like, I have to carry the team. Maybe you're right. Maybe bringing in all these other veteran leaders like Yandles and Ristolainen and all these guys that were former, were a C or an A. Maybe Giroux realizes like, hey, this is my last hurrah. And maybe he's just having fun. How about that? How about just have fun?
It looks like it.
Right.
He does. He looked like it last night. I mean, he looks like he's like refreshed. Maybe having the baby. I don't know. He just seems like a different player to me. He seems like he's actually having fun playing hockey.
Oh, thank you very much. I mean, put those 2 cupcakes in that last night was absolutely phenomenal. He definitely looks like he's having a good time. But I'll say this: with the way they transition the defense and what we have now, the defense, and there's still some issues. Not too many though. They did what they needed to do to help Carter Hart in front of him. He's playing better. They brought in the pieces and plugged in the right pieces on the offense. My opinion, right off the bat, there is no more excuses. You have to go in. You have to get into the playoffs, and you have to contend. I mean, everybody stays healthy. You don't have a year-ending surgery. And I'll tell you one of my difference makers that's big, and I've talked about it before. Wade Allison was my Joel Farabee this year. That was my 25-goal scorer. That was my guy that was coming in and throwing torpedoes and cooking up cupcakes and scoring goals. That's where I had him. Sadly, he's not part of the team yet, but a little source of ours, he won't be too far out, and he'll be back soon. But the team that we have, this is the team to go to, and I've already said it, and I'm on record saying it, making the Eastern Conference appearance. That's where I have this team going, if healthy, and gets it going. You've done everything you need to do. All the stuff I've complained about with and defending Claude Giroux to the death, this, they got everything they need. If they have a second round exit and they look like crap, we have big issues. If they can fight to the Game 7, a grueling battle, I may accept that. But you need to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. You've done everything you need to do.
If there's a move that they make at the deadline, where do you think they make a move?
Jesse, what's it?
Anybody, just anybody. Just
you got to call up because I'll jump in for everything. So I want to give somebody else a chance to talk.
Jump in. Go ahead. Who's it? What's a position or a player where you think they might look to add at the deadline?
If there's a detrimental injury, obviously you may have to address that. Like if say we lost listen, I thank God the way Braun is playing because you could plug him up there. Like if say Provorov got hurt all year, you could put him with Ellis possibly. I mean, I still say no injuries, and you're looking for what you need. You need the sniper. You need a prime goal scorer. You need a 35. I mean, I wanted them even after everything. I wanted them to still try and get Tarasenko. I still wanted that 30-35 with that first line. Like we brought Cam Atkinson, he's playing great with that second line. And thankfully, TK, Coots, and Giroux are playing well, but I still wanted that solidified big goal scorer at the deadline. And you never know. The way they're playing, they keep getting better and better and start distancing themselves. They're going to look like, let's go get them and let's win this bad boy.
Do they have the ammo?
Yeah. Oh, are you kidding me? Absolutely, they do. And not even. Well, of course.
With the cat.
Well, then you play those cards. You obviously will determine that at that time. Make a few waiver moves. Somebody's not going to be here. And I'm necessarily. I'll even go out and say it. There's a few players out there that could potentially be moved. But they sent down. They have some, probably in our D man with LSB now. The D is so strong, so I wouldn't necessarily focus on that. There's people down there, but the reason why some of those players aren't up yet is because of cap. I think that's the reason. Exactly.
Last case scenario would be him before York.
I agree 100%. I would keep Cam York down there definitely, and I'm a huge Cam York guy. So we have so much depth on forward. You could even move Frost. Maybe he needs a fresh start somewhere else. Maybe this isn't the place for him. You could move him. You can absolutely move him because they're still so young. There's players down there that you could use as ammo. I'll even mention this one, and I hope he doesn't go anywhere. Tyson Forrester, 19 years old. I had an brother. I would never want to move him. But if you needed someone big in a package deal, I'm just saying that the depth is here. The depth is here. Tyson Forrester ain't going nowhere. That dude is incredible. Incredible player. I get to watch him all of rookie camp. He's incredible. If he can stay healthy. But we have depth on this team, and it's setting us up now for the future when some of these older players are moved and these younger guys are now coming in. We just went from maybe an average age of 31 down to 27, 26. So it works out great. But a prime goal scorer is what I think they're going to need to really contend to go for a Stanley Cup final.
Do I have to do this? Should I do that?
Yes. Go ahead, Josh.
I did it? Okay.
Go ahead. You're good.
I'm trading TK for Johnny Hockey.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. And if you want to really do it, if they would bite, I would trade Frost for Johnny Hockey. You got to get him here. He doesn't want to play in Calgary. He just got it. We literally showcased Carter Hart and the defense the other night for him. He was absolutely frustrated. I've heard through the grapevine that he is legitimately every year talking about coming here, and it's not like a rumor. I wouldn't mind Tarasenko. I think from what I've heard, he's a nightmare in the locker room. So
so is Voracek actually.
Well, he's gone. Yep. So
get him out.
But I would definitely go after Johnny Hockey because he wants to come, and he may actually take a hometown discount to come.
Those are the two guys that I thought about. Gaudreau looked incredible the other night.
If you wait a year, even at the end of the year, say, all right, let's pick up Tarasenko this year. I'll entertain Frankie's. You take Tarasenko this year, wait and see what Giroux wants. See if Giroux wants to leave, send him to Calgary, and then bring Johnny Hockey here.
Have Tarasenko
and at the same time, you got to play chess here. It's the Game of Thrones, no?
It is. That's a game of chess right there. That's a bold move, and it's not out of the equation either.
If you think about it, it's not up to Giroux now. For telling the franchise that you have started your career with that you're going to decide at the end of the year whether you want to stay or not. You think Chuck Fletcher hasn't taken that into consideration that you obviously are thinking about not being here?
Now he's got to earn it.
He's halfway out of the door. I say we kick his ass right out the door. That's it. You got to look what's best for the business, not being attached to these players.
I agree 100%. I do. I agree. When the time comes, anyway, whatever. When it comes time for the move on from players, you eventually have to move on. And I even say it, and I still believe it. I don't think Claude Giroux will be here next year. And everybody knows how much of a fan I am.
You say that, dude. That's a lot.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be here next year. I think it's at the time now where you should transition him out. And I'll tell you right now, April 29th, the final home game of the regular season, I will make sure that I am right there at his final home game because I do not believe he will be back here next year. I hope. That's it. Yeah, that's all I got on that. But yeah, I don't think he'll be back. Yeah.
What about this point that Mike brings up about
you have to
about moving JVR?
I was hoping the Kraken were going to take him last year.
Yeah, 100%. I said it. I didn't mean to touch on it either, but he was one of the people that I said should be gone. He's not. Last year was great, but he's a big contract that would open up a lot of doors if you got rid of him. And there's so many teams out there that are desperate for a JVR, like a Detroit and a Buffalo and even Anaheim. You know, they got Getzlav out there kind of working the horse. You know,
That's a good point.
there's
Anaheim
many
definitely.
Kraken. I mean, the Kraken could take him now. I mean,
I thought they were going to take him.
they're
Ugh.
getting the doors blown off them every night. I mean,
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, they're not doing too well, man. They must have been something's going on with them.
What his father judged 45 years ago.
Listen, Frankie James downstairs. I think he's still sleeping. Who knows what he's doing down there? I mean, he played a little time for them, and he's still kicking it. And that's all I got to say about that. Hey guys, Coke.
Coffee.
What kind of show is this, man?
I don't know, but apparently
Coke Coffee Field?
I don't even.
Hey,
They're
but somebody-
drunk and doing ice.
Whoa.
I don't even know what's happening right now. This is all different.
I'm drunk and doing ice too.
I don't know. Oh,
Must be hanging out with the
oh,
Yeah.
what is going on? I don't even know.
Jesus. They must be they must have feeling the CM effect over there or something,
Oh,
bro.
my
Jesus Christ.
I want to know where these.
Someone
Listen,
someone
if you're
must have
commenting on
be
this,
hanging out with that bear or something.
where are you?
Where are you from?
But Frank, just to transition to something completely.
Rosedale.
You were down. You were down at the alumni game.
Yes, we were. Both of us live and in person.
So talk to us, gentlemen, about your experience down there, what it was like, where what you were able to see, who you were able to interact with.
Go first.
Yeah, I was in the press box. I did walk down with Frank. It was Frank's first night on our photo credentials, so we kind of took like a little tour down there, and being right next to the Zamboni was pretty cool. I mean, got to see that. I mean, it was really just an experience. It didn't really matter where you were. I mean, it's just great seeing all those guys come back to Philly, and actually they're actually playing pretty chippy, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah.
Canoe got bloodied up. He got hit in the face and was bleeding.
Saw him in the back.
Yeah.
He was with Ellie. He was with Ellie.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm up in the press box, so I kind of sit up there and do my thing up there. And Frankie's he was interacting with everybody. Really, he'd be the one to talk to about that.
Yeah, it was an incredible experience. And right off the bat, as I always do, I thank Jesse for giving me the opportunity to do that. That was something I've never done before. He put the trust in me to get the job done, and I can only hope that I came up to par and made sure that the job was done well. And obviously being upstairs for a couple of years now, it was nice to try something different. And obviously I still go upstairs, say hi, flip the bird to a couple of people that shouldn't be up there. But and then we get back downstairs to business. It was an incredible experience. It was incredible interacting with the fans. I'm a man of the people. I don't know if you guys know, but I like to talk. I'm a talker. All right, so it was great being down there with the people, making a few friends. And we snapped a few pictures, and it looks like they're going to pop up here on the screen. For those of you that don't know, those weirdos that were on the talk line there, that's Gritty. That's the mascot. I snapped that photo. Probably one of my favorite photos I took. That Riley Cote in spring in action, looking back for the puck. Definitely a fantastic photo. We made sure that he got that photo personally
Got
too.
the first goal of the night. This guy, I said, the men's league games are starting to pay off for this guy after his.
Yeah. This is probably one of my favorite photos. All four of us. This photo speaks to all four of us right here. This is right behind. I was right behind the glass. The funny thing is, I had my headset on and I'm talking to Jesse. Like, dude, Jesse, you're not believing what I'm shooting right now. I think I might have sent one of these to him. That picture might be one of my favorite photos I took, and I'll definitely be getting that printed out.
There's one of LeClaire and Loophole too. That was a good one as well.
Yeah. This is a phenomenal photo. I mean, this is like the '90s, man. And who better? I was right next to the Zamboni. Actually, Jesse was right above, and he was right above across the rink there, right next to Zamboni. Lauren Hart, the best around. At the end of the game.
Favorite.
Keep it. Make sure you just give remember that from the habit.
Yeah, this is incredible.
Incredible photo. Yeah, incredible photo. Thank you. It was right after the game. The old. This is a great photo too. Just the.
I mean, how
the
many
color and the
times can
detail.
you say that your own photo was great? I mean, shouldn't you
Wow.
let them tell you that your photo is great? I think it's a horrible picture.
All right. Well,
I'm just
I think
kidding.
you're a horrible person. How was your rings? Robert Ash, this is back in the day too. It was a fun photo. It was nice. It sucks though. It sucks. It definitely sucks.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, I hate this photo. This one sucks too. Next. Actually, I love this one. I'm definitely going to be getting this print out, Danny boy. Why do I even say anything?
Yeah, I heard
Uh,
the press conference that Briere hated it too. So I mean,
He actually said that. He said that weirdo guy with the mustache. He's real jerk. Real jerk.
overuses the word shekel way too much.
Oh,
He didn't like
and then I think this is one of the last ones. I think.
that. Look like Aladdin down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am actually. I just flew on my magic carpet ride. I just got back from Tarsdale. I go taking a shit on someone's car. Moving on. So Riley Coates and Don Brashear, two of the best enforcers around. Great photo. And the ref right between them too. It speaks. Keep him humble. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you don't like Claude Giroux, so I promise you. Anyway, tell him to get a hold of me. I want to talk Giroux with him. Frank the Tank Show. Come on, buddy.
Oh god, he's not gonna do that.
They never do. They never want to. They never want to come on and face the music.
Uh,
Sam came on. Sam came on and debated Morgan Frost with me. If Sam comes on the show and debates, anybody could. Granted, she only did was she just asked me questions the whole time, and I was just like, whatever. But we put a Twitter poll on who won the debate. It was 50-50, so guess it was an even tie.
all right. So spin off of that. Who's a former player that you would bring back for this season to play on this team?
Okay, Jess.
Rick Tockett.
Okay.
He coached. Yeah, he coached. Yeah, he was back. He was back there.
Oh, thank you,
Okay.
Grant. Thanks.
Jay, who
I
Jay,
was
who you
talking
bring back?
to somebody else.
For me, it's absolutely easy. John LeClaire,
Goal scorer. Mhm.
somebody that could put the puck in the net, regardless of the situation.
I mean, for getting to the playoffs, I mean, Danny Briere. Yeah, Danny Briere. Have to. Danny Briere, 100%. Well, what's wrong? Jesse, you don't like Danny Briere? Oh, Danny Briere?
Pump the brakes, will you?
Frank, I'm going to go off. I was slightly inspired by one of your pictures when I was thinking about this.
No, don't
I'm
talk.
going to go 88. In his prime, healthy. Is just a guy who could
Dominant.
do anything he wanted on the ice, dominate. I think he's a guy who obviously we know what his history was. We know how his career played out. But I think him in his prime, healthy, would be game changing for this team. It would be exactly what they needed.
Yeah, prime and healthy. They said what, like 2 seasons, 3 seasons, something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
was that the question? Someone that would come up now that would be good for this team?
For this team
Oh,
to play
Yager.
on this team for this season.
No, they played in the alumni game. Was it the ones that played in the alumni game?
Yeah, why wasn't he there?
It was just something I thought about.
Why wasn't
No,
he
I
there?
know the tape, but we followed with the alumni game. Was it somebody that played in the alumni game? Was that from there, or it could be anybody? Now I kind of want to do anybody.
It didn't have to be. It can be anybody.
Yager.
Any player in their prime to come here and play. Any player to play here in their prime. Actually, now I'm changing my take.
Yager. You don't even have to answer.
That's your answer. That's your answer.
Yeah.
Why does it have to be my? Why have to be? Listen, guys.
Oh man.
Listen, guys. Who I would probably take right off the bat is probably Jaromir Jagr. I think that's a good point.
All right.
The goat,
Very
dude.
cool. All right.
Or Sergei Fedorov.
Okay.
Or probably all
I
right.
like it.
I'll be all right.
All right. So to wrap up the night, the 3 stars of the night is something we do at the end, kind of like a final thoughts piece. So any players, any teams, anything going on in hockey that you want to highlight? Go ahead.
Everybody else have a chance too. Jesse, you want to jump on first?
If we let you go first, you'll be quiet with everybody else.
Go ahead, Frank.
Good point. Okay, here it is. This is the hot take of the night. The way that the league did not discipline Sidney Crosby for throwing that player him into the boards is a disgrace. Is an absolute disgrace. And it's not the first. It's I don't even understand how it could happen. They look right at it. It's unbelievable. So if you guys want to touch on that about your points, but Sidney Crosby doing something like that to a player and just being able to skate away and head back to Torresdale to see the old CM, probably play Legos or something and do nothing, is a problem to me.
Oh my God.
That's all I got.
All right. Jess, what do you got?
3.
Anything?
This is a warlocking show, I'll tell you that, boys.
Oh, wait, he's got to do 3, Jason.
Well, it's supposed to be your 3 stars, or I guess it doesn't matter.
Whatever.
It's just
It's
a
whatever.
segment we do.
Are you sure you want to give him 2 more?
No.
I'll do it more.
He said, nah. Moving on.
Go ahead, Jess.
I'll do one as well because it's really the only one that I like because I love the fighting. I love the enforcers. I love that whole thing. Ryan Reeves literally took this rookie behind the woodshed and just absolutely started the chainsaw on him. He just beat the living shit out of this kid. And if you follow the story, it's not like a I think it was from Montreal. He's a call up. The kid he didn't know who he was. The kid was asking him for the fight, and he was poking Ryan Reeves, and he didn't even realize who he was until after he just like literally destroyed him.
Is that guy okay? Is he okay?
Are you? Because I thought I was talking. I don't know.
Oh, no,
No, you're good.
Oh, okay. I feel like I'm talking to my wife. Like, I don't understand right now. Like what? Like you look like Aladdin. What are you, an usher at the movie theater? What's happening right now? You really want to do this? Let's not do this. Anyway, Ryan Reeves. Ryan Reeves fight. If you look at I do agree with Frank though. The Sidney Crosby thing is absolutely horrendous. I mean, Wednesday. I got to quote Cote on Riley Cote's biggest thing. If you listen to their podcast, accountability has got to be returned to the league. If George Paris isn't going to hold these players accountable for the things that they do. I mean, even Jordan Bennington swinging his stick. I forget the other player swung a stick at someone last week. You know, if George Paris isn't going to let them hold them accountable for their actions, then they should let the enforcers come back. Which I think they actually are, because they're really enforcing the cross. I said this at the beginning. I think, Frank, I don't know if you remember this. I said this at the beginning of the season. Everybody said they weren't going to have fighting come back after the what was that Panarin thing that happened with Wilson. After that happened, I told everybody this. I guarantee you something's going to happen next year. And this is what happened. They're enforcing the cross check so heavily that they don't even care about fighting. There were 12 fights the first week of hockey this year. That's like more than all of last year.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll do 2 stars.
Right?
Well, I guess it was 3.
Great stat. Great stat.
Rule.
Great stat.
All right, Jay, what do you got?
I absolutely love all those so far. So my 3 stars, I'm going to go a little bit different. So my 3rd star, I'm going with Connor McDavid's play last night, where he went end to end through 3 guys at full speed and scored on that play. I don't know if everybody's seen it. If you haven't, go check it out on social media. It's absolutely amazing.
Who's he?
I legit, Jay, had the same thing.
That's my 3rd star.
Yeah.
2nd star is going to be Carter Hart's season so far. To me, he's the comeback player of the year in the NHL. The way that he played last year and his mental state and where he's at this year is like night and day. So to me, Carter Hart gets 2nd star. And my 1st star, actually, Jesse already touched on this guy, Troy Terry from the Ducks. He's on a 16-point game. He's on a 16-game point streak.
Wow.
The NHL in scoring. The only guys above him are Draisaitl, McDavid, and Ovechkin. And this guy you never heard of, and he's a 5th-round pick. So
Frankie, look that kid up, dude. Seriously.
Definitely. Is he from Delco too? I mean, incredible.
Yeah. Actually, Jason, before I forget to tell you this, I listened to Dropping the Gloves with John Scott. I don't know if you listened to that or not.
I haven't, but I will.
Listen to that. That is an amazing, amazing podcast. He is dead on with these kids, and that's why I heard him for the first time. He does this thing, this trade alert or roster alert for fantasies to keep your eye on. And I went through all 3 of my leagues and just stole this kid, and it's been amazing ever since.
Except our league.
Nice.
I have him.
You have him. That's right.
Yeah.
He's like, bastard. How did somebody else know?
Yeah, I know. I was
Jesse,
pretty good league.
like,
I think-
Did you know when you got him? Did you know?
Yeah,
when you
right.
got him?
I actually did know he was
I didn't
good.
know.
I think who's in first place in that league? Is that you, Jay? Are you in first place in that league?
Me and
Are
Mike
you?
were tied.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, someone's the third.
Yeah, I just as long as I beat Sam.
Mike, who you want to fight on your show?
Yeah.
Me.
Oh yeah. No fighting. We don't.
Hey.
No fighting. Just a good, honest debate. Just a
Hey,
good,
hey.
simple debate.
Hey, Frank, Mike is going to try to link up with you, try to get connected. We'll try to make that-
Yeah, absolutely.
make
Yeah,
that
sounds good.
If you can get through that episode without trying to like take a dive off of 95 into oncoming traffic, I'll give you a case of Kenwood beer.
Well, first of all, it's an incredible show, and people I've had on it is awesome.
If you guys haven't
Yeah.
watched it so far,
Yeah.
check out his podcast.
Yeah, fired up. They do it. They
They're
do a
really
good
good.
job.
Who's that?
They're actually Mike is actually you Jesse. You might run into Mike. He's credentialed. He's down there with you, so you might run into.
Mike, that was just on.
Yeah,
Mike's
Mike
from
Gelato,
Fired Up
he does-
Podcast. They're credentialed by Belly Up Sports.
Who they with?
Okay, belly ups with Slapshot Sweethearts, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, let's Snapshot Sweethearts. They're
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm the guy in the press box that doesn't talk to anybody because I don't know anyone.
Well, Mike, I'll tell Mike to introduce himself
Yeah.
to you because he's a good.
Right.
dude.
Yeah.
I'm the one who's got a laptop. I'm pretty easy to find. You never have to pay for a ticket ever again. I'm sitting there for the whole first year watching.
Jesse's right. He's right there. He's usually next, like 3 seats away from the person with the picture of them of their cell phone, by the case. There's a cartoon, and then it's Jesse from Delco. You can't miss him. Great guy. You can usually find him at the popcorn stand too, from occasion. But listen, we're popcorn people. But absolutely, yeah, good stuff.
So my three, Jay, you had mentioned McDavid, the 2 plays that he's had this season where he goes end to end, in and out of everybody, just incredible. The second star is to the Flyers alumni. They do an incredible job of organizing those events, getting those things set up, auctioning off things for fans, getting the fan interaction, and just some of the things that they do off the ice. Their Every Child Deserves a Bike program, in getting bikes for disabled and at-risk kids, is just an incredible piece. And I think we'd be remiss if we didn't mention the Warriors program that provides that hockey program for disabled U.S. vets, and their success in what they were able to do in the last couple weeks with winning those championships. Just shout out to them. They're doing all the right stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually had a picture of William Duffy. I may have sent it to you guys. Not too sure. He was the goaltender. I was at the bench. I personally had sent those to Duffy before I made them go public, and we got to talking. So I'm pretty sure I talked to him, and he and the captain and another player are going to be joining us at the event on the 4th, which is incredible. Yeah, they're great.
Why don't you take a moment and you and Jesse and plug this event because it's really important and.
Oh, is that me?
Really, yeah, you guys. I want you to plug the event.
Yeah, so December 4th, my co-host on Flyers Alley, Jake Long's father, also Jake Long, was diagnosed with esophageal cancer. I actually grew up with Jake out in southern Chester County when I had my 11-year stint out there. His dad got diagnosed, and I kind of stumbled across his GoFundMe, and I felt that it was I just couldn't give like $30 and kind of just walk away. So I kind of contacted Frankie and Jake and kind of said, I think we should really throw a benefit. So December 4th at Iceworks Skate Zone in Aston, Pennsylvania, we're going to be throwing the podcasting for cancer. We're going to have a bunch of raffles. We're going to have some Flyers alumni come. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Frank Bialowis. He's a really good friend of mine. He's going to be showing up. Zach Kinderchuk, he's Oris Kinderchuk's son. I've grown a pretty good relationship with him. He's going to show up as well. He's actually going to be doing a kind of a segment with Flyers Alley and Frankie's other show, the Dusty Buttes Frank Bialaus is going to be doing a segment with him. Jimmy Watson's going to be there. We got a bunch of people coming through. We're going to be doing some shows. Flyers Alley, Dusty Buttes. I think Purge Hangers and Wall Hangers. They're going to have they're going to kind of cut it a little bit different, and they have a former Marvel comic writer and drawer artist. They're going to be doing a segment as well. And Jake's dad and Jake are actually going to be doing a segment. Oh yeah, there it is. Jake's starting another show off of Flyers Alley called Fourth and Long. It's going to be a Philly 4-for-4 show with him and his dad. And they're going to be ending the show with that. It starts at 1:00. It's $30. The Venmo is at the bottom there. You can private message me or Frankie. Frankie is handling a lot. Frankie and my assistant Jess Hess. Shout out to Jess Hess,
who created the flyer.
Yeah, they're handling a lot of the stuff. So yeah, come out, definitely support it. I know Frankie had said that some of the Warriors are going to be coming out to that as well, and it's just going to be a really, really good thing and a really big event for a really good cause. And just want to really alleviate the guy lost his job and lost his medical benefits, lost he's having trouble paying for his mortgage. So everybody just sitting around not doing anything is just not the right thing to do. So everybody just show up to that.
Frank, show everybody what the door prize.
Yeah. Now you told them the secret. All I literally see right now on the screen is me, and it's awesome. So if we could bounce me back a little bit, because it's just me.
No, you're good.
This is the door prize. This is actually created from a dear good friend of mine, Christina Diane, art and illustration. Nice glare there we got there as well. But this is a love sign with the players in the middle of different arrows. She hand created this. Got to give her a plug. Our good friend Christina Diane, dear good friend of mine, she created this and donated it. I'm going to pick right up off what Jesse was saying because I'd love to say a few things as well. I couldn't be more thankful for Jesse to get me involved in this. This is something that I take a lot of pride in doing is events. And this is very personal for me. Some may not know, some may not know. My stepfather is home right now, and he was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer 2 years ago. I was literally planning both events. We got through my father's, and everything went well. Great success. And we're going to continue on with now Mr. Long. A lot of work is going on into this. A lot of work all the way around from everybody that's contributed. We could have been more thankful for the sponsors that we've gotten, and we'll continue to keep promoting with them. But guys, please, we want people to be there. It's going to be an incredible experience, incredible night. $30. It gets you a buffet, 2 drink vouchers, and a ticket for the door prize, which our buddy up there, I kind of surprised let it out. But it doesn't matter. Come, have a good time. It's going to be an incredible experience. So if anybody, there's Venmo at the bottom. We can get that flyer posted. If tickets are needed, reach out to me. Frankie James is my personal Facebook. If you guys want to put that information up there some other time, that's okay. But get a hold of us. We'll get the tickets. Fantastic. And also, we will be selling tickets at the door. It's getting popular. So, and Iceworks has been nice enough to promote the event at the arena. It's going to be on the sign out front and inside. So if you come and you don't have a ticket, we will have 2 representatives from Old City Sports Network to make sure the tickets are available for you. Please, definitely want you to come. Some of the raffles are incredible raffles. We couldn't be more thankful. But to end that note, we hope that Mr. Long and his family is doing well, and we've been really kicking our butts on this event. It's exhausting, but it's going to be an incredible event.
Awesome. Well, gentlemen, we really appreciate you guys coming on.
Thanks for having me.
I'd love to.
Thank you.
We'll stay connected. Love what you guys are doing. Check them out. Check their shows out on the Old City Network. We got our Drunk on Court episode debuting tomorrow. We're going to record it. It's going to be, we're trying to transition some of our other shows into some shorter formats. But we're really excited to link up with you guys, and we'll look forward to, kind of branching out and, staying connected.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. All right, gentlemen, have a good night. And Go Flyers.
Absolutely.
Go,
Good night.
go Flyers.